Yeah, here we are. Nope. Here's the other one. All right, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Okay. Goo gaga.
Oh my goodness.
Goo gaga. Bubble butt. Bubble butt.
All right.
Bubble butt. Bubble butt. Bubble butt. Bubble butt.
Hey guys, so I haven't done a video in a while, and I just haven't been inspired. I recorded my favorite finds from my favorite vinyl finds from 2021, and it's just sat there on my phone. I never edited it, I never posted it, and now it's March, so who gives a fuck? We're fully into 2022 now. And I've bought a lot of records since then, so who cares? You know, as I've seen Vinyl Richie post these, his, best 10 albums of every year, I've kind of wanted to do it too, but, I just did this top 200 bullshit, and I don't know, I was like, isn't it kind of redundant? Yeah, it is redundant, but who cares? I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to jump in here at 1972. I'm going to respond. I've got my honorable mentions all back here. So I'm all set up nice and fancy. Let's just jump right into it. At number 10, I have Young, Gifted, and Black by Aretha Franklin. She's one of my favorite artists, and this is such a landmark album in her discography. What I love the most about it is, up until this point, she's never really had an album start off with more of a ballad. And that's what she has on Oh Me Oh My, I'm a Fool for You Baby, which is just a gorgeous song. She has several that she wrote on here, kind of working off of Spirit in the Dark, where she had, I think, the most songs she'd written on any album up to that point. But also, again, the covers are just... the title track, and then The Long and Winding Road, which it's never been one of my favorite Beatles songs anyway, and she just kills it. She just makes it a better song. And then Border Song, which I've always loved Elton John's original version of that. I thought he did an amazing job with it. But yet, when she gets her hands on it, it almost sounds like it was something that was written for her to perform. Number 9. Hosiana Mantra by
Popol Vuh. Now,
this is the album that introduced me to their music. And it's been several years now. An artist a singer-songwriter that I happen to be a big fan of, MC Taylor, who records under his called Messenger. He posted this album on Instagram or something, and I looked it up and I listened to it, and it was some of the most beautiful music that I'd ever heard. Instantly. Now, it took a little bit of patience to sit with it, but I don't know. I think it just hit me at the right time. I think it was just, and I've just loved this album ever since. And over the last couple of years, I've been diving into their discography more. I still need more time with it. I have 2 box sets now. They've released 2 volumes of career spanning albums, and so I still have years ahead of myself. I think with their music, but this one is just incredible, and so yeah, I have it at number 9. Okay, so one of the most famous MPB albums out there, Música Popular Brasileira, or Brasileira, I think is actually it, is this one right here, Clube da Esquina. And it's a fantastic album. But I have actually grown to love this one more. Lo Borges. Now, Lo Borges gets artist credit on this album, along with Milton Nascimento. Now, this is Lo Borges. This is his first solo album, and it is absolutely incredible. So every reason why most people like this one, Something Anything by Todd Rundgren, is the same reason why I love this record. It sounds incredible. The writing is brilliant. There are hooks galore, and like little tiny embedded hooks in each of these songs. And I'm obsessed with this album now. His guitar work is really the thing, though, and there's elements of fuzz that just kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, similar to the way they do on this album, but yeah, there's a lot of traditional Brazilian Latin sounds, but obviously more in the realm of popular music. Just absolutely fantastic, and I love that cover. So there are a few that I share with Richie, and the next three are all albums that I share with him. So at number 7, I have Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. Sorry, I'm leaving the sleeve on that because it's all packed down in there. I mean, it's a legendary album. It's an absolutely legendary album. And at one point, it was definitely, I always said, my favorite Rolling Stones album. But over time, I have just grown to, I think sometimes I just convinced myself it was my favorite because everybody else says it's the best thing they've ever done. But really, Sticky Fingers and Beggar's Banquet I love those albums more than I do this one, but this is still an incredible double album, and easily one of the best albums of 1972. I just realized while I was recording that I had the wrong Drake album out. So, spoiler alert, Pink Moon's not in my top 10. And it kills me. This was really hard. 71 is way harder, though. So I'm glad I didn't even participate in that. So this one I have to include, too. I just can't leave it out. David Bowie, Ziggy, the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. I mean, from start to finish, every single one of these songs is legendary. My favorites are 5 Years, Moon Age Daydream, Starman, Suffragette City, and Rock and Roll Suicide. Those two songs, one of the greatest closeouts to any album ever. I mean, can't leave that one out. So this next album, for those of you that even remember anything about my top 200, this is one album that I kind of regret not having in that list. And that list is always evolving and changing. And so I have it in there now. But who cares? Nobody's keeping score at home on that shit. Y'all are just glad I'm finally done with it. But now I'm doing this. Anyway, that album is Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. The thing that Vinyl Richie mentioned is that this album has like a certain sound to it. And he's right. But this is just a masterful piece of composition. Yeah. And he has a lot of great albums in the 70s. One of the best runs by anybody. So number 4, I have Egabamiaza by Can. I talked about this one in my top 200 series. It's my favorite Can album. It was also the first Can album that I ever listened to. I don't know what else to say about it. It's funky, it's different, it's got those avant-garde moments, but it also just really, really grooves. And I don't know. I just absolutely love it. Those who know, they don't need me to talk about it anymore. And number 3, I have Sail Away by Randy Newman. This VG minus VG copy, which I don't know why I still am holding on to this. I absolutely love this album. I love Randy Newman. I will be honest, the rest of his discography, I kind of like to just kind of cherry pick certain songs from certain albums more. But this one, from start to finish, is the one album by him that I absolutely adore. And it's just absolutely clever, intelligent songwriting of the highest order. And with all the shit that's going on in the world right now, political science still rings true. At number 2, I have Black Sabbath Volume 4. It's my favorite Black Sabbath album. To me, it's like not even close, honestly. No, that's not true. It's close. What am I saying? I'm trying to pull out a fucking hot take or something? Whatever. No. It is close, you know. Those first 4 albums are all absolutely incredible. But I just love the variety of this album. Black Sabbath Volume 4 is my favorite by them, and so it's my second favorite album of 1972. And at number 1, everybody should know what that is. Number 1 record by Big Star. I got into Big Star years ago in the late 90s. And when I first heard this record, I think anybody that thought it was great and heard it for the very first time wondered why weren't they more popular? I don't know. And Vinyl Richie said that he doesn't like the cover and he doesn't like the title. And I think that that's crazy. Because first of all, this cover is so iconic now. It's not even funny. I love that neon. I think it's brilliant. And I also think that, you know, to put this album out is obviously their first record, and to call it number 1 record is, you know, it's a joke. It's fun, and it actually ended out being funnier than they probably intended it to be, because nobody heard this record for years. So, except for critics. I do agree India's song is, as he said, the wanker of the record. I don't think it's a bad song, though. I really don't. I just think it's like Yellow Submarine on Revolver. It just kind of stands out, but it doesn't ruin the record for me. It doesn't ruin the record for me. It is a song that if I'm listening to digitally or on a CD or something, I will skip. But if I put this on the turntable, I don't stop the record before that song comes on. I play it out, you know. I think it was nice of them to let Andy Hummel contribute a song, right? These harmonies are just incredible. It's incredible pop rock music. I mean, it coined. It was one of the albums that kind of coined the phrase like power pop. So that's why it's called that. It's not power pop compared to what power pop became, but every power pop band out there rips these guys off. Teenage Fan Club, the Posies, the DBs, Chris Stamey and Peter Holsapple. I mean, you name it. All those power pop bands. They were trying to write Big Star songs. That's it. 1972. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But anyway, all right. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.
Bubble butt vinyl makes no sense.